Hello traders. Today it is a beautiful day. I saw two opportunities on the market. One was on USD JPY, the other one was on CardShare, and I didn't take the first setup because I was late to the market. I opened the charts and I saw my setup play out. I'd already marked the key levels, and the price came and respected that level after sweeping liquidity. Everything was aligning to my with my trading principles. I literally checked all the boxes, but there was only one thing that made me not to take that trade, and that is timing. I was late to the market. And I respected that. I didn't argue with the market like, you know, the older me, the previous version of me or the older version of me would have quickly went, scale the margins, go in full margin, like take it is risk it all to have it all, like kind of guy. I used to be that kind of guy, but today I was so relaxed. I saw it. I knew if I take this trade, I'm going to make money. But I was looking also at the risk to reward, and it wasn't good, because the train had already left the station. So if I jumped into that trade, it was going to give me a terrible risk to reward. And I have this rule of, if I'm trading on a trending market, I'm not going to take any setup with risk to reward below 3 to 1. And I calculated and I saw that, if I take this trade, then I'm going to suffer to have to bear with 1.5 to 1 risk to reward. And I was like, no, I'm not going to take that setup, not because it was not my setup, but because the risk to reward of to that setup in particular, it wasn't aligned with my trading principle in regards to risk to reward of 3 to 1. So I respected that and I let that opportunity go. There is a saying that goes, do not try to catch a falling knife. When our knife is falling down, you don't rush to catch it. The same thing, you see the market plays out your move, everything is just checking out and you're like rushing. And the reason why you're rushing is because you're late. So you are rushing to come in, scaling the margins, go in full margin so that you can make a lot of profit, and that is something that has been troubling me for a very long time, because sometimes that trade goes according to your plan, but sometimes it also goes against it because there's just something that you missed. And this is what leads to blowing up accounts, like you've been preserving your account, you've been growing it, but only that careless trade that you took because you wanted to pay your bill, you wanted to settle off a particular, bill, and you wanted that money to be made right now. So it kind of blinded you and you missed something, but still you afforded to go in full margin, and now you don't have capital as well, on top of the previous problem that you're trying to solve, and now you've already added up another problem to it. Call it a vicious cycle, but the thing is, it is the maturity, the emotional maturity that just, like chill, just chill, I didn't rush, I didn't sweat, I just saw and I accepted, I took the loss and I moved on. And then later in the evening, I spotted another opportunity on Card Shelf. It was a beautiful one, and I shorted the market on Card Shelf, and it gave me a risk to reward of 6 to 1. Yeah, the USD JPY is still going, it is still playing according to my setup. It is like over 120 pips right now in profit if I would have taken that trade, but I didn't. The thing is, like, I am growing, I'm seeing this bit of it, and I'm appreciating the fact that I am mature enough not to take trades that I know that are against my trading principle. And let me just finish by telling you this, like, you have to be patient, you have to be disciplined, you must have your rules, your trading rules. These are the do's and these are the don'ts. Be very clear on that.